Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Yosef. We're going to come back to you with another short wisdom lesson today, this time encouraging you to ponder the paths of your feet. It is very important for us on a day-to-day basis to sit back and ponder the paths that we are allowing our feet to tread upon. And not just our feet to tread upon, but the tires of our car to tread upon. There are places that we go to on a day-to-day basis that could cause us to fall. All right, and I want to tell you about a recent situation that I dealt with just a while back. You know, I was going to an appointment. All right, and on the way to this appointment, it happened to be snow on the ground, and you know, with under that snow, it was some ice that I didn't know about. All right, so I get out of my car on my way to this appointment, and next thing you know, I slip up in the air, you know, and before I could fall on my behind, I grabbed onto the back of somebody else's car, and you know, I was able to keep myself from falling, or the Most High kept me from falling. All right, so I leave the appointment. Now, in my mind, I just walked this way through this little crosswalk to get to my appointment. I go in there, take care, you know, get my business taken care of, come back out, and without me thinking, I go right back to the path, all right, that I just slipped on. And this time I did slip. I slipped up and fell on my back. All right, all praise to the Most High that you know, nothing severe happened to me. I was able to get right back up. But the thought came to me, ponder the paths of your feet. Some of us are walking in slippery places, and we are not getting, you know, the experience and the knowledge from the situation that we need to grab from it. Some of us are not pondering the past. We're going into dangerous situations that will cause us to fall in our walk with the Most High. All right, and I want to go and read the scripture for you today. We need to be really pondering where we're going, you know, really giving diligent inquiry. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse number 26, it says, ponder the paths of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. All right, when you go to verse 25, it says, let thy eyes look right on, and let thy eyelids look straight before thee. So we are to ponder the paths that we embark upon a day-to-day basis. We need to ponder, you know, situations and people. And a lot of times, us as a group of people, we're not actually doing that. And this is where we gain the wisdom from. It's from these experiences. How many places that we can look back over our lives and say, if I keep going to this place, it's going to cause me to slip. Just like I slipped up on that ice, right? How many, you know, what type of gatherings, what type of groups of people that I'm around, if I keep going around them, that will cause me to slip. You know, I get phone calls and I talk to different individuals from time to time, and I've had to share this scripture over and over. Ponder the paths of your feet. I've just had to share it just a couple times here just recently. All right, we need to ponder the paths of our feet and let our ways be established. You know, that's why at the end of the day, we need to be sitting back, thinking and going over all the places that we've been to in the current day, and then we need to be making up our mind on not to go to these places tomorrow or in the future. I used to have a marijuana addiction. All right, I used to smoke 10, 11, 12 joints a day. All right, and when I came into a more knowledge and I started seeking the Most High, and He filled me with His Spirit, His Ruach. All right, I had to ponder the paths of my feet. I had to be real with myself. And I said, if I keep going back to the hood where I know that there's marijuana at, all right, more than likely the chances are that I'm going to hit that joint. All right, and some of you, you know, you're giving too much confidence to your flesh. You know, it talks about in the scripture, it talks about that the wise man, he sees the trouble and he hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. All right, we have to be wise. All right, the scripture talks about here, let's go to Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 27. Can a man take fire into his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Can one go up on hot coals and his feet not be burned? So some of us feel like because we're not pondering the paths of our feet, we're not considering, all right, the temptations, the trials, We are playing with fire. And now as the new year approaches, springtime is upon us. All right, there's going to be a lot of temptations out here, and it's going to be real important that we ponder the paths of our feet. Pondering, seductive clothing, women walking around with seductive clothing. And for you sisters out there, you got men walking around with seductive, walking around with their chest out and no clothes on at all. And I look at these men, they're not no better than the women. If they want to blast the women and talk about how seductive they are, and they still walking around with their chest showing, they walking around trying to show their six-pack and all that stuff is just as wicked as women revealing their bodies. All right, so we need to be careful. We have to be diligently thinking. Think about the places, the hot spots in your life. Think about the places that you know that if you end up going to this place, it's a high percentage that you can fall. The scripture is telling you to ponder the paths of your feet. Proverbs chapter 6:27, it said, "Can a man take fire into his bosom and his clothes not be burned?" Now this is also talking about, dealing with the adulterous woman. Some of us are not pondering the paths of our feet. It talks about that in here, the enticement, the persuasion. It's not just by the women. You got these men out here that's over there trying to run game on the sisters, and they're trying to lure them in by, through wickedness. All right, you sisters, you got to be careful out here. Ponder the paths of your feet. Because it talks about the strange and clamorous woman. He said her feet abide not in her house. She's standing on the corner, trying to increase the transgressions of men. You know what I mean? She said in Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 11, she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. She is not pondering the paths of her feet. The scripture said her feet abide not in her house. It says now she is outside, when she is without, now in the streets, and she lieth in wait on every corner. Of course, this is not you, those of you women that's keeping the commandments of the Most High. I'm not talking to you, all right, but those that are strange and immoral. All right, it's time to ponder the paths of your feet. Watch it. You know what I mean? High-risk situations I had to get myself away from. The boys in the hood. All right, and I had to get months under my belt, day by day, incremental. Day turned into a week turned to a month turned to a year, and now I'm in my 13th year not smoking marijuana. All right, but I had to ponder the paths of my feet. And even in that situation where I just told you that happened just recently, me just going out to go into an appointment, I slipped. I didn't ponder it to say next time I walk back to my car, I'm going to walk in a different way. That's where the wisdom comes in at. I'm going to walk in a different way than I slipped last time. Some of us, we want to rage on and be confident. We want to put confidence in our flesh. And we want to make, oh man, I ain't about to fall. It ain't about to happen to me. And then we don't consider, and then next we know, we slip and we fall, and we right back into the situation that we just got out of. So I know this is a short message today, but I wanted to, put this on your mind today. All right, ponder the paths of your feet. Really, every single day, at the end of the day, after you done did all the run around, you done went to work, you done prayed early in the morning, you done fought through traffic, you done did all these things, you done sat down, you done ate, your meal with your family, you probably did your evening prayer. Sit back for a minute. Maybe you might have to come back and come outside on your back porch or something. Come out to some place where you can, just get away from everything and sit back and think. Think about the places that you have been going. And maybe you don't need to go to a quiet place to think and ponder on the paths of your feet. But I'm telling you today, if you want to decrease the probability of you falling into sin, it is very important, it's vital that you ponder the paths of your feet. All right? So if you like this wisdom video right here or any of the other previous videos up to this point, click that subscribe button, click the bell button for the notifications, share this video with as many individuals that you know that would like to be enlightened on this hidden treasure. Until the next time we meet again, I say shalom, shalom, Yah Barak, ponder the paths of your feet.